Watching these women comfort this narcissistic, compulsive lying skis bagged cunt Harry was one of the most pathetic spectacles I've ever witnessed in my life. This is one of the reasons why men like this do what they do, because they know they'll get away with it. Love Island UK, episode 42, and I have got zero sympathy for any of these people at this point. They're doing it to themselves. Here I was actually thinking, Shakira's really mature for her age. She's trying to process her emotions. She told Connor that she felt as if she jumped into a relationship too fast after Harry, and she can't just jump about from person to person, which is like a Love Island first. And I actually do think that she's handled this entire situation really well. Why she's interested in Harry is a mystery to me. But Harry sat her down and he says, "Oh, I really liked you. I thought that the door was closed on us, so I just tried to block out my emotions. And basically, I'm either leaving here myself or I'm leaving here with you." This was her opportunity to say, "Alright, well, pack your bags. See you later, because you're not leaving here with me." No. She went round the house bitching about it and being like, "Oh, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that." Have you seen the pictures for tonight's episode? Helena walks upstairs and sees the two of them sitting on the sofa, and she's like, "I can't believe after everything that happened, the first thing that he thinks to do is pull Shakira for a chat." Not sure why she's surprised. So she's sitting crying. She's like, "Oh, I can't go through this again. How many times do I need to go through this?" She didn't consider Shakira's feelings when she walked up to Harry, tapped him on the foot and fucked off to the hideaway with him, without even saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to the hideaway, see the Mora," or anything. She didn't think about Tony's feelings when she snuck away with Harrison. Somebody texts me and says, "Oh, I feel really bad for Helena now." Why? She wasn't giving a fuck about other people's feelings when she was sneaking away with her men and doing all these things. But now she doesn't like it. Bitching about people behind their back saying, "Oh, she fancies everybody, she probably fancies the plants." She would have went with anybody in that house that showed her any slightest bit of interest. And now she's sitting crying over a man who was sitting with the boys saying, "Oh, I think that Helena's just a good time girl," and she thought that they were going to be in a serious relationship. At the end of Friday night's episode, Harry says to Helena, "I'm not going to be with Shakira," and Helena says, "Oh, I'm not going to be with you either." So she was very proud of herself for standing up for herself for the first time in her life, and she went round to the other islanders and says, "Oh, I told him I'm not going to be with you either." "I'm not going to be with you either. Oh, be so proud of me, right? Okay, fine and well, that should have been the end of it." But then in last night's episode, she says, "I'm going to pull him for a chat and I'm going to end this finally." It was already ended. What is there to speak about? So she goes over to him. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to hurt anybody." Shite. Talk shite. He's an absolutely fucking narcissistic, compulsive lying cunt. And he's sitting there. "Oh, I didn't mean to hurt anybody." What does Helena do? Had that been me, I'd have says, "Well, you did hurt me. You're a cunt. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to speak to you. Stay away from me. And actually, if anything, this is my fault for allowing this to happen. Take yourself to fuck." That's not what Helena does. Helena stands up and goes over and hugs him. Now, I was watching this with my niece who stayed last night, and she looked at me very confused and says, "Why is she comforting him?" And I says, "That's a good question. Why is she? Because she's a fucking doormat." When Harry was talking about why he got with Helena, he says, "Oh, Meg and Dijon, they were telling me that I was better suited to Helena," or whatever shit he was talking. This is a 30-year-old man. A 30-year-old man. And I'm not really one for judging people on ages, right? But see, even if somebody was 18, 19, 20, and they says, "Oh, I went with somebody because my pals told me to," fuck off. Oh my fucking god. Actually just like, take this man to fuck, please. So somebody messages me and says, "Oh, I feel bad for Harry, I hope he's okay." And I was like, "Oh, do you?" I couldn't give one fuck about him. When you're a cunt to somebody, expect for people to be cunts back. The problem is, nobody's been a cunt back. Even Tony sat with him and said, "I know you really like Shakira, but if you want her back, you're really going to have to work at it." Now, me as a friend, I would have says, "I know you really like her, and honestly, she really likes you back. But if I was you, I would go into that room, pack my case, take myself to fuck, because you do not deserve to be in the same room and breathe the same oxygen as my friend, because you're nothing. You do not exist. Fuck off, Harry." Why would anybody encourage that? to be with her friend. It's absolutely diabolical. So the whole episode was concentrating on Harry, and I was like, I'm bored. I don't want to see him again. I'm not interested. At least somebody in the house has got a brain. Yasmin pulled Blue for a chat, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Why is she pulling him for a chat? She's with Jamie. He's a nice guy. He's good looking. He's not done anything wrong. She sits Blue down and says, oh, I think you're an attractive guy, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, like, me and Jamie's got something. I was like, oh, thank fuck. Thank fuck. So I was like, yes, Yasmin. Yes. What made it even better, I don't know if it was so soon after, but to us it looked literally like straight after. Angel pulled him for a chat and says, I think you're a nice guy, but I really like Ty. Shut down twice in a row. Absolutely fucking love it. So they get a text in the middle of the day, it's time to go to the fire pit, which I thought was quite unusual because usually when they go to the fire pit during the day somebody's getting dumped. But Connor obviously picked Meg. The usual people chose the usual people. It was Harry's turn to choose, and he stood up and he's looking at the ground. As if he feels bad, does he fuck? And he's like, oh, I told this girl that I either leave alone or I leave with her. And Meg's like, oh my god, did he say that to Shakira, right? So he chose Shakira, and then it went on to Connor, and Connor was clapping his hands like... Everybody was so confused because of the speech that he gave. The more he spoke, I was just like, Harry, shut up. You're making it worse. You're making it a million times worse. Just like, be quiet. Then I was like, do you know what? I don't really like Helena, but nobody deserves to be with Blue. He got up to do his speech, and it was actually alright. But he says, oh, she's had a hard time in here and she's not been treated right, and I think that women should be treated right and all that. Now, to be fair to Blue, right, we haven't actually seen him treat any of his partners bad because nobody's been interested in him at all. We've seen how he spoke to Tony, which wasn't great. Very aggressive. And as you know, his laddish behaviour drives me fucking insane. But we haven't actually seen him coupled up with MD to see how he treats his partners. And we don't have long to go, so thankfully we don't really need to witness it either. But Helena is now with Blue. Is there going to be something between them? We'll soon find out. Because if it turns out that Helena's interested with Blue, then it turns out it's her that would fancy the plants. Shakira was speaking to Tony earlier and she says, I still really like Harry, I've got feelings for him, and it's taken me everything to not get back with him. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, outside in your private life, a guy can treat you like shit, but you don't really realise the full extent to it because you're not there all the time. She's in the house witnessing every single thing that he's doing and saying to people, and she's still feeling like this. Now, regardless of how he looks, because everybody's got different taste, and some people might find Harry attractive for whatever reason, but his personality is fucking awful. On the outside, you might let that slide, but when you're on national TV and you know that your friends and family are watching, everybody's watching you. And they're watching you get back with this guy who's a fucking compulsive lying skis bag. I would rather walk. I mean, I'd maybe pull him for a chat and say, look, I really like you, I've actually got really strong feelings for you, but I physically cannot get back with you after the way you've treated me and the way you've treated other people in the house. And we're not going to win anyway because, let's be honest, you're a complete dick. So I think I'm just going to have to leave. But we've now seen pictures of tonight's episode and Shakira and Harry seem happy. And there's so many people in the comments of their videos saying Harry and Shakira to win. And I'm just like, I fucking give up, man. I give up. There's so many guys out there that treat women like shit, and there's so many women that treat guys like shit as well, right? Like, let's not be fucking kid ourselves on about it. But when we see things like this on the TV, and we see how somebody can put somebody down, make them feel bad, make them feel like shit, go and speak to all these other women and men, like as if they don't even exist, and then they still go with them on national television, it's just, there's no hope. So, let me know what you thought of last night's episode, and I'll see you again tonight. Bye!